How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Nicely Done. We're here in the redstone testing world again. Back with an awesome door, which I'm sure you can already tell by the thumbnail. This thing is going to be dope. If we look here, we got 7 tile wide, 7 block wide, 7 block deep, including that magenta down in there, which probably makes this it's all, if you look at the light level, oh, you can't see the light level if I'm doing replay. The light level's all like 9 over here, which is kind of interesting. It's probably because it's daylight. Yeah, we got this thing after a solid week of testing and working. This is as far as I got. I wanted to get the walls in, but just the opening and closing sequence took so long that I'm gonna call it good on this one. The interior and everything can be kind of changed around. I wanted to, here, we'll open her back up and we'll get into a little bit of explaining. So with start over here, cave doors. Cave doors are cool. They're usually symmetrical and I don't know, look kind of natural sometimes. Pretty cool. I couldn't figure out how to get that 3x3 out of the middle. But with that idea, I've never seen one that tapers off down to the bottom, so I started with a rainbow. Simpler concept, my little 3x3, but this one, I've been so obsessed with flying machines, and I can't really figure out piston extenders. I have to tinker with it some more. This is a crazy machine. I couldn't figure out anything else to do besides flying machines to get these blocks out of the way. So many different angles. And the way I have everything parked at the moment, we can kind of have like another set of machines fly into the side here and bring walls in. I would have to increase different delays and all that kind of thing, but yeah, this machine went through so many different iterations. We'll start on the side. So this over here is where the observer is to check our pulse. When we flick that lever, pulse travels down here and pulls 1 block out of the center to let the flying machines take off without getting caught on a block. And that needs to happen pretty darn fast as the opening and closing. That's like the first thing that happens. Secondly, we take the red ring out. And the red ring comes out just to make that flush with the wall. The original concept, I wanted to make everything flush and have the full rainbow. That gets so complicated. So, got the red ring out. We got the center blocks out. And then the thing fires again. Well, after the red ring comes out, signal travels off this way and sets off this piston. I'll actually close this so it looks more detailed. Pretty happy with this machine. Not half bad. So in here we got, after the red ring comes off, comes down here, ignites the piston, updates the observer. Tried several different ways to do this. I've had the observer on the top, had the observers chained in the middle. See, I had something going on here. I tried to do stuff from the back before. This seemed to work the best. These two flying machines that pull the horizontal blocks out of the way don't really need to move out of the way super fast. But they do need to go out in order. So as everything fires, the left side, if we're looking at this backwards, the slime side has to come out as one solid chunk symmetrically, or else these green blocks will get stuck on these blocks. And if these two don't kick out first, these honey blocks will try to pull this yellow concrete, and it'll overload the machine on this side. So you have to pull everything out and then pull everything out. If that makes any sense. So if we activate the machine again, if I can get over there in time. So that side flies out first. I mean, I think I have them timed to where they're both flying at the same time. So those blocks get updated at the same time, and they're kind of entities moving at that point, almost. They're not like, they're kind of transparent, so they slide against each other. So those machines get kicked out. These ones just kind of have to park. They have to park specifically so that nothing gets caught on each other. And when they launch again, they have to launch at the exact same time. Because if this one goes out first, it'll push this forward and get caught on the green. This one will push forward, and then this will try to tag along, and then there's a lot of bad things that happen. So with here, to have them stop at the correct spot in the middle, because if I just launch those without any of this obsidian here, well, a lot of this wall obsidian is just there because you can't have anything that can get caught by slime here. But anyway, those blocks have to get caught by that obsidian and that obsidian. When they do that, they get kicked right over the top of these two, or these center blocks. Without that, it'll keep pushing and push into this wall here, which we don't want. We have those kick off and push their blocks out into the middle. Really bad explaining on that. So move over to this side. So as those two machines are flying backwards, taking that chunk out of the way, these two are flying backwards. They don't really have any kind of connection, so they are more or less independent. This top one with the honey blocks is the most complex, because it's two extensions off of the engine. We have the honey blocks pulling an orange and yellow section, then that extension kicks off of another small extension that has a couple more orange and yellow, and then that gets tied to the engine, which gets stopped here. This chunk up here we'll talk about in a second. We got this backwards observer here, so that when this machine arrives, it sends a 1 tick pulse into this. Well, actually it gets normalized, so it sends a pulse into this observer here, or the sticky piston, moves the observer back and forth, puts 2 ticks. Actually, no, that'll put 1 tick on this dust, trigger the observer, and kick the this section out so that when we launch it again, the whole machine can move forward, update this observer, and push this extension forward again. And on this side, we did have to have catch blocks again. We have the tall slime section gonna get caught by this. And then when that happens, there's a secondary trigger that needs to happen. So when this whole machine flies over, it will kick itself off, and there will be a gap sort of in the middle. We have to send a second pulse when it comes back. That's what that top observer there is for. And the bottom observer gets reignited by this piston here. And then it pulls that section back. And when that finishes, that allows enough time so that this machine can come in and park itself. If you do that out of order, this machine tries to come in first. The honey machine will get caught on the first diagonal machine, and it won't push far enough. There was quite a lot of rebuilding of flying machines in this, but in any case, so when that arrives, this other machine is just a trigger. So this other one is just a trigger. Yellow line comes off of the red ring. So when we reignite that and push the red ring back into the middle, it'll send a pulse down this line, which will trigger the note block and that observer, send that machine backwards, and it'll trigger another line this way into this observer and send that machine that way. And this gets caught on this obsidian when it flies backwards to kick this extension out and park itself underneath this piston here. Brings us to the final block. I added this small piece here, these three slimes and the purple. Otherwise, I had 2 blocks to deal with here. But with just this 1 block left, I just had to add a piston. So I added a 1-tick piston extension off of this guy. So when the floor raises, it just kicks a block out to here. And then that machine will come back in. And then when the floor goes back down, we'll just pull those 2 back out. And done deal. So if we follow our chain of events, actually, hold on, we have one more event. We have these 2 machines fly backwards, and when they park, that will tell us that we can send these machines over. So I added this massive delay. Couldn't figure out any other way to do it. I had a 1-tick. So on the first opening sequence, this won't fire. By the time this delay gets to firing sequence over here, the machines will have arrived and it'll send them back. We don't want. Well, on the first pulse, this observer is here. So when the doors close, that observer is there. When you open it, the observer gets moved to here, and it doesn't fire a signal in. So when the machines are backwards, or parked, the observer will move again. When you press the button or flip the lever, it'll move again, send a 1 tick down this delay line into just a torch tower down and ignite all of this at once, sending this whole chunk flying. Yeah, kinda. So that was closing that chunk, opening this chunk. Comes out of the lever into the note block. How did I get this to work? Somehow I've managed to get both of these note blocks to fire off of one observer. So this updates and sends a pulse through 2 dispensers or droppers or just some kind of immovable activator block. I was gonna go with pistons and have this one lower. Didn't want any more moving tile entities. I went with dispensers. They won't get grabbed by the slimes, and when they get over here, this yellow one has to move out of the way slightly before the blue and the green one, so that dispenser will click. There's nothing in there. It doesn't have to be. That'll click, update that, send a chain, update this one, click, send the whole machine back. And yeah, it's pretty much the whole machine. So we got everything coming in, sends the other side, pushes that, pulls it back in, and that whole chunk comes in at once. If we have the opening, pulls the ring out, just triggers that whole chunk move backwards, pulls this ring out, and at the same time that this top one's pulling out, triggers the other side, pulls that side. And the reverse, go from the observer down, pull up everything, pull the red, send the observer, or send the right side, and then send the left side. Close, middle, horizontal blocks get stopped, and the left chunk gets stopped. And this is my rainbow door. Took way too long to make. Still doesn't look very pretty. This interior section you could probably switch up for glazed terracotta. That piston unfortunately does need to stay there. All this other stuff, I guess more or less can be changed to another flying machine. The original idea was to have like another set of walls come in, flying in. Or have some kind of like gravity block feed tape that pushes blocks or pushes them down. Then you have solid walls. My brain just cannot handle that at the moment. The way I have everything parked, it can be condensed a little bit. But I did leave enough room on either side for flying machines to come in, sort of. And that's my rainbow door. Figure out how to do a world download down in the description. I'll definitely make a schematic of this. There's a couple of people I know on Discord that already want this door. Yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. It's the first time I've ever seen 7 by 7 by 7 rainbow door. And the first time I've ever seen a door that tapers itself from one corner to the other corner instead of backwards into the middle. That's what I've been working on recently. I thought you guys would be interested in that. You are? Or if you have, maybe stuck around this long, go ahead and hit that like button. It would help me out. Let me know that you like this type of video. Other than that, I'm gonna keep making redstone stuff. Kind of fun. I like the challenge. I like the brain activity. Everybody likes redstone builds. We may not understand them, but we definitely like them. They look cool when they work. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Check out my Discord down in the description down below. I'll try to throw a schematic file down there as well. And we'll see about getting a world download, but the schematic file would definitely be easier to start off. Let me know down in the comments other types of like redstone stuff. At the moment I can only come up with doors. That's gonna be it for today. I'll talk to you guys down in the comments or over on Discord. Peace.